Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First, I would like to say that I'm very happy and proud to be here today with all of you. And I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Jihad Subay, and I have a degree in pharmacy from college. I have a degree in pharmacy from College of Pharmacy in Sana University, and I got this in the year 2000. The first time I came to the United States for graduate school was in 2004 as a Fulbright student. I got a scholarship from the Fulbright program, and I came to the United States. Then in 2007, I joined Dr. Zuwiya's lab for a PhD degree. I'm going to talk a little bit about the benefits and the challenges I faced as a graduate student here in the United States. And so, why higher education? What are the benefits that I gained from getting a graduate study in the United States? First is to become an expert. America, the United States provide the best educational system and resources. And for that, you can gain expertise in the field and the specialization that you join for. And this will lead to provide a significant contribution to the science. Because of receiving a good education in the United States, you can contribute by giving a breakthrough or discovering a cure for a disease like cancer and HIV, AIDS, and also with breakthroughs that makes a big change in the world. That's because you are now armed and with the education and the thinking to combat and resolve problems and solve these problems. Also, for improving critical thinking ability, graduate school is a change from receiving education passively and now standing and thinking deeply for a problem that you can solve. It changes the way I think. For now, I can look to my problems and stay long enough and think deeply to have solutions for these problems, good solutions, not just a solution that they come up with in a haste. And with this, it can lead for me to solve problems in a more effective way. Strategic view, that's what I mean. Also, it gives higher social status. What does this mean? We are very proud people as Yemeni. When you are successful, people look at you and think of you as a role model. So they follow you, and you can also influence in a good way to make good changes to the community and your people and surrounding it, including family, community, or anyone who you live with. And also, being educated, highly educated with a graduate study, you also gain higher income and job security, as Dr. Yaqub mentioned. You always, during your life, secure with a good income because of your education. You are qualified enough, and that you will be able to receive, money and good job during your whole life. What all these factors will lead for me or for people to be leadership. Why it's important for leadership? Now you can influence your surroundings. Okay, you can generate an effect, a positive effect onto your community, your family, your people. Power of leadership always will lead to a positive change. And we cannot just think about ourselves like a minority and we don't think positively that we can do huge change and contribution to our surrounding. Think about it like President of the United States, Obama. He is the son of an immigrant Kenyan guy, and because of education as a lawyer and also persistent and hard work, he was able to be the president. And inshallah we see someone from the audience or from the Yemeni people, educated people, to be also President of the United States. It's not impossible. We can see this currently happening with Mr. President Obama as a black guy who is first generation of non-immigrant people in the United States. So what are the challenges that usually faces the students who wants to go to higher education, to obtain master's or PhD, getting admission in a respectable college or program? So how to come over this problem is by early planning. Early planning starts, as is what mentioned by most of the audience, Dr. Jafar, Anisa, Yaqub, is from the beginning, from the children. You have to raise them in a way to be successful and long-term planning, so that you can reach them safely and when they can become independent and also contribute positively to our community. Well preparation is when you have a good GPA and your undergrad, study very well for your examination that you need to enter a certain program. You need to have like GRE, TOEFL, and TOEFL like for us, I mean, since I'm an American. That's a problem that I faced when I came here first to the United States. I don't know the system. It's very different than back in Yemen. And I faced huge difficulties in even getting the books. It took me like 1.5 months to get like 2 books of GRE to study, so that I can a little bit good. I mean, have some preparation. So I can get a good score enough for me to get accepted in a master's program when I first got the scholarship. The second problem, or actually it's a very big problem, is the study expense in the United States. I mean, I live in Yemen, and the cost of the study per year, the average for an international student is $40,000, including living expenses and also the admission fees that we pay for the universities. So for you as an American Yemeni who live in the United States, you have better chances than me. You have scholarships, financial aid. These are obtainable, but of course with good planning and preparation, good GPA, good scores, these will help for a sponsor and getting enough fund to pursue a high degree in the United States. It's also a good thing to work as a part-time job during your study. I am here and I'm working as a teaching assistant, and that helps covering for my study. That's also possible for people who want to go to higher education among the community here in the United States, in the community. Time commitment, that's also been mentioned. It's like people would say, why should I go to a higher degree? When why should I spend 5 to 7 years to get a master's and a PhD? It's one of the big problems, especially for me. I live in Yemen. My family and my daughters are back in Yemen, and I've been living here alone. The important thing to think about the bright future that awaits you when you get your degree, the status that awaits you, that when now you're going to be able to have a decent life, to have a decent effect among others. You can be remembered by others. It's just not about money, because it's also with your contribution to your community and science. And the positive attitude. Think about the experience that we go through in grad school in a positive way. In a positive way, like with getting different activities, enlightens us, have a different thinking, not just only thinking about science. For me, I live in Yemen, and they came here and I'm exposed to a new and different culture, the American culture. So that was a good opportunity for me also to meet a different culture. And this is also, it's always great for you. I mean, it's been mentioned that we are a little bit secluded, and everyone it's good to have interrelation between each other, but also it's good to express your ideas and your thoughts, and exchange actually ideas with the others, like American and your surrounding and different community, because at the end will go to the benefit of us and of all of us in this country. And that's it. Thank you very much. I would like to talk the point that there are American Yemenis who are now having a high degree, PhD and masters, and they are welcome to provide some comments regarding their experience in high education, and also for questions for the rest of them.
whatever they did and start blaming ourselves, and what else we can do to influence this the society and the community. And then my question goes, you talked about infrastructure in these organizations and clubs that are organized around here. Being a leader in the community for a long time, from your experience, what are most of the fundamentals for these infrastructures for an ideal organization? And the other questions, a lot of people try to segregate themselves and keep themselves away from these organizations, blaming them for being involved in different activities, whether it's political or religious activities. Now, do these organizations stick to their vision and the mission that you mentioned? If you would elaborate on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jihad. This is excellent. I cannot help it. I have to mention one particular person in the audience, and I don't want to embarrass anybody, but there is a good example. Today we're talking about examples and people who was doing it. Dr. Gamal, would you please stand, please? Dr. Gamal al-Ba'dani just finished his PhD. And I have to tell you why him in particular in this audience. He did not shy away. He is there at the mosque and every meetings and every organization gathering, very humbly, sitting, serving, making no noise, bothering nobody, but to help others. So Jamal, congratulations, Ya Akhil Aziz, wa atmana lak at-tawfiq. As to your questions about the ideal infrastructure, every organizations, when you establish an organization, you start with a simple mission of what is it, what do you want to do? Until the AAYSP and NAYA, there was absolutely, positively no missions with any organizations before these two organizations. Now, we're not bragging, but we're just stating facts. The mission was to serve the community, والوطن, والواجب, كل القصص هذه, and there was absolutely, positively no mission. Stating your mission would lead you to build your organization around that mission. If you want to work with education, AAYSP mission is to promote higher education. What did they do about it? We're here today to promote education. NAYA's mission, to educate the community. What did they do? They have a conference like this to educate people about government, politics, things, what they need to do. These are the two. Now, how to put an ideal infrastructure? An infrastructure is an elastic mechanisms for people to follow up with your dreams and mission statements. It's not just to change personalities. You may change personalities and have the biggest sheikh with the biggest immigrants to come and take over AAYSP and have an election, and they will take over tomorrow, and we're done. But to maintain that, to engage the community in the organization and your work, and in the same times, maintain the continuation of the programs. We lack this one. And as most of you know, you cannot get, and I know Anisa could know that, and Ahmed and Rashid knows working with the governments, no funding, no resources will give you if you do not have a simple track of statistics. And we lack that one. So you need to build the infrastructure where the organization will function automatically without having to deal and change every time there is a change in leadership. This is the first question about the ideal infrastructure.